First round best of 7 playoff series between the Blue Jackets and the Washington Capitals. The Capitals lead this series 3-2. I'm Bob McElligott, joined by Jody, Shelley, and Jean-Luc Grand-Pierre. And Jody, the mood feels pretty good here tonight, I think. For an elimination game, a must-win for the Columbus Blue Jackets, I get the sense they have the right attitude.
Yeah, I think there's been some confidence found down the stretch for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And, you know, when you can go back to moments of the season that you can reflect on and remember, like, it's just a game. We just got to win tonight. Let's focus on today. Something John Tortorella has done a very good job with his group with. I think that really puts you at ease for tonight. Those guys are probably in the locker room right now. Music might be off. They're starting to focus, getting ready for warm-up, come out here and then see their fans. But there's a sense of quiet confidence again in the group. I agree with you. This could be the big night for the Blue Jackets we're all hoping for.
Jean-Luc, the only time the Blue Jackets had a really bad loss in this series was in Game 4 here at Nationwide Arena. Everything else has been overtime or double overtime. They've been right in every game of this series.
Yes, they have. Unfortunately, Game 4 was not their best, and I'm sure they want to redeem themselves tonight in front of their fans. And as far as the other games, again, there were like games that could have gone either way. Jackets got 2 of them, the first 2 games, and then unfortunately one of them in overtime Washington got. But it's one of these things where you're looking at this series overall. If both teams show up to play, anybody get a chance. The one game that the Blue Jackets didn't show up, obviously they lost by 3 or 4 goals.
Right. Jody, you go back to Saturday. The Blue Jackets had such a good push in the third period. They tied the game early in the third period. They had great chances. They couldn't beat Braden Holtby. And then inevitably they wind up missing on some chances in overtime. Washington makes the most of one, tipping a shot from the blue line that winds up in the net. I mean, that's how close this has been.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, you think the Blue Jackets came back with a 2-0 lead. That's a distant memory now. That's just under a week ago, I think. And now the Blue Jackets are here in this situation facing elimination. And when you think about the plays, it's maddening. The shot off of Holtby's stick by Ian Cole in the third period of last game could have been the Blue Jackets' fate. They could have come back here with the lead. So it's such a fine line. I think they're satisfied in that. There's a little bit of satisfaction in that, knowing that they've played well. Their best period of hockey, probably that third period in Washington in Game 5. They can bring that into Nationwide Arena tonight. The other thing is, no wins at home yet for the Blue Jackets in this series. That stings. That not only stings their fans, but it stings them. They want to make that right here tonight. That's their focus. Win at home, and then get on the road.
All right, I know you have to go do the NHL Network right
Yes.
now, so we're going to let you get out
Go
of here.
Jackets.
We will talk to you during the intermission. So that's Jody, Shelley. Jean-Luc, let's continue a conversation you and I were having on the way down here. How tough it is to get shots to the net and get them by these goalies. Talk about the tip shot. You look at the last game. There were 2 tips by the Washington Capitals, one on the power play by Oshie, the other by Backstrom that wins the game. That's pretty much what it takes to get a goal in this series. Oliver Bjorkstrand did it early in the third for the Blue Jackets. The clean shots aren't really going in.
Right. If you're looking at the goaltenders in this series, that's probably 2 of the best in the NHL. So they're world-class goalies. You can't, most of the time, you're not going to be able to beat them from the point with just a shot. So you need, first of all, the shot to get through, and then you need some traffic in front, make sure the goalie can see it, and then if you can see it, you need someone in front to tip it. So we saw 3 goals like that last game, but that's what it takes to win in the series. The easy goals just don't happen, because if they happen, the goalie's out, and that's what Washington did with their change.
How hopeful are you that what we saw in the third period and in the overtime on Saturday starts to become the norm, and that is the Blue Jackets being much more disciplined? They didn't take penalties. They kept it at 5-on-5. They did get some power plays they didn't take care of, but one of their biggest problems in this whole series has been being in the penalty box and allowing the Washington power play to skate.
I think it proved them that third period that they can play hard, relentless hockey without taking penalties, so being disciplined, because Washington scored power play goal in every single one of the games so far, so staying out of the box tonight is definitely key for them. As far as what it showed them they can outscore a team 16-1. They do it again tonight. Now, it doesn't have to be 16-1, but if they play with that same style and really dictate the play, they'll be in good shape.
Did you see any changes in that third period? I'm going to talk with John Tortorella about that, or was it just they finally executed the way that they wanted to when they outshot Washington 15-1 in that third period Saturday?
I think they probably went in the locker room, looked at each other, and they're like, we're up 2-0 in this series. Now this is 2-2. We could go down 3-2, and they're starting to feel like they have their back against the wall. And when you start playing that desperate hockey, play with desperation and that fear of losing, because all of a sudden you don't have that cushion anymore. That's probably what happened, and obviously tonight's the same situation for them.
Well, we'll continue on that theme in just a couple of minutes when I talk with Blue Jackets head coach John Tortorella. We'll do that as the pregame show continues here on the El Dorado Scioto Downs Blue Jackets Radio Network.